Promontory forts are very common around most of the Irish coast. 300 or so have been officially recorded. More probably exist, and others have been lost. They vary from the very elaborate fortifications of Dunbeg or Dun Aengus to the more simple examples found in Valentia. At times they can be hard to identify, though the use of the Irish word dún to name a headland is a very good indication of the existence of one. Valentia has several forts. Two of the more interesting are near each other on the north side of the island. They are easy to miss as they are off the tourist grid and lack the impressive constructions of other forts. However, they show how promontory forts can vary enormously. The first, on Dún Rua, the Red Fort, is the bigger of the two. Heavily overgrown by grass, heather and gorse, many of its features are hidden. It is 78 metres wide on the landward side and approximately 58 metres deep. It is guarded by two ditches and banks. When this fort was surveyed a century or so ago, the inner bank had the remains of a drystone wall on top of it. This was long gone. This survey also found 6 upright slabs forming an entrance into a fort on a 12-metre causeway across the ditches. These slabs have now all fallen. Most are hidden by grass and gorse. 2 are still visible, acting as a sort of entrance. Finally, inside the fort were 2 drystone huts, also now overgrown. After entering the fort, the ground rises before falling around the cliff edge. It is quite spacious inside, and you feel that people could have lived there, though in winter it would have been very exposed to the ferocity of the Atlantic weather. The second fort, Dún Ghallán, has a very different feel. It's on a narrow piece of land jutting outwards, 12 metres wide and 60 metres long. Its most prominent feature is the 2 impressive portal stones marking the entrance. But the question that arises here is the entrance to what? What sort of promontory fort was this? In front of the portal stones are the remnants of what may be a wall and a shallow ditch on either side of a narrow walkway. The ditch is just a few metres wide, as this part of the promontory is very narrow. The portal stones are believed to be the remnants of an elaborate entrance or doorway. They are less than 2 metres high, half a metre wide, and 20 centimetres thick. The rest of the fort is basically featureless. It is a beautiful place, but when you visit it, you really wonder if anyone actually lived there. While it cannot be ruled out that part of the cliff has collapsed, especially since the rock underneath the end of the promontory is heavily eroded and appears to be resting nervously on a pillar of stone, it still does not look like anyone lived there. It's very small inside, nor is it the most defensible site, as the landward side runs parallel to the main cliff, meaning that anyone inside could easily be hit by arrows, spears or rocks. Probably was used for a more ceremonial purpose, though what that ceremony was it is impossible to say. Religious, cultural, we'll never know. All we can try to do is imagine what it was. Despite not being well known and lacking the spectacular construction of other sites, both these forts are worth visiting, as a way of understanding the past, wondering about the different uses of places given the name of Promontory Fort, and also for the amazing views. As a bonus, near these forts, the strange meanderings of a traditional stone wall unveil a settlement. The wall zigzags to incorporate older buildings, rectangular cluckons, 2 of which were attached to each other. On the far side of the wall are the foundations of 2 more houses, which are thought to be of a later date. There is also a souterrain, an underground passage or storage area here, and another one a few hundred metres away. History hiding in plain sight, or almost.